Ah, magari completo.
nonno, nonno, dietro. Please take your seat as soon as possible. During the entry flight, you are not permitted to use power banks or other leading battery power source. Do not store them in overhead compartments. Store them in the carry-on luggage and turn off the power. We like to remind the passengers in the business class to avoid.
Okay, that's 11H.
全新的探索，从中国到世界，无论出发还是归来。
Every flight towards the blue sky is a brand new exploration. From China to the world, for proceeding or returning. China Eastern Airlines always be your side, pursuing your dreams for a better future. Please follow the crew's instructions, indicator lights, and signs. Please keep your seatbelt fastened while seated. Fasten or unfasten your seatbelt like this. The use of lithium battery mobile power is strictly prohibited at all times. Smoking, including e-cigarettes and other similar products, is strictly prohibited during the whole flight. Oxygen masks will automatically drop down in case of depressurization. Life vests are stowed around your seat. Tab when you have reached the exit. Please blow into the mouthpieces if more inflation is required. If an emergency landing occurs, please adopt the brace position as displayed until the aircraft comes to a complete stop. There are 8 exits in the cabin. All exits are clearly marked. Please follow the crew's instructions and evacuate the airplane via the escape path in case of emergency. Adopt this posture to evacuate. Our wonderful journey is about to begin. For further safety information, please read the safety instruction. Thank you for flying with China Eastern Airlines. We bond with each other every time we are together. We see the world together every time we take off.
We are ready for takeoff. Please double check that seatbelt is securely fastened and the mobile phones should be switched off. has come to a complete stop, and the cabin lights are on. Thank you for flying with China Eastern Airlines, a member of SkyTeam Lines. See you next time.
G12登机口排队登机。登机时，我们将邀请携带婴儿。To start in 2 minutes, please go to gate G120 to queue up for boarding after hearing the announcement.
滑落到座椅内，请您联系乘务员协助寻找，不要自行移动座椅，以免设备损坏。
好，直到飞机完全停稳且客舱灯光亮起时再起身。下机。
Miss Crystal